Hi, all. Welcome to Off the Cuff with Namrita, and hope you're having a fabulous weekend. And listeners, today's interview is a little beyond my level of knowledge because it's about dating and finding the most compatible partner for yourself. So I definitely did not go through the dating process. I just married the person who my parents found for me back in the 1990s, and somehow, we're still making it work, and it's going on. Tik tak chal raha hai. But I'm so glad that the younger ones today are able to explore more and you know. Uh, know more about themselves and about their partner before jumping into the most important decision of their lifetime. And I do have a matchmaker today here with me. Welcome, Radhika Mohta, to Off the Cuff.
Yay! Thank you for having me here, Namrita.
So lovely to be chatting. I think I'm going to learn quite a bit from you. A little bit about Radhika Mohta. She's a matchmaker and a relationship coach. She helps singles transform their dating lives through her coaching sessions, video program, and curated gatherings. She is based out of Bangalore and caters to Indians globally. And you can go on her website radhikamahota.com to know more about her and also get in touch with her. So, Radhika, how are you doing?
Fabulous. We are blessed with really good weather here in Bangalore, as everybody who's from here is going to tell you. And I'm so excited to be talking to you here.
Likewise. So, tell me, Radhika, why is dating so hard? And, I see kids struggling so many times. They have so many questions and so many, avenues now to find a partner. It could be online, it could be just going out, it could be. So, tell me, how can they navigate dating life in 2025?
Absolutely. So, dating is becoming harder because we are living in 2025 and we are privileged to be able to have access to all the technology out there. And the more options we have at our fingertips, the more overwhelming it's becoming. There's paradox of choices. We are away from our roots or our joint family systems where we grew up, and the hierarchy was sort of decided there. So now, with all the freedom that we have and all the independent choices that we can make, it's just becoming harder because it's not a latte versus cappuccino. This is something you are probably going to live with for this one decision you're going to live with for the rest of your life. And that ways, it does become really overwhelming. How can people navigate it? Well, that is, uh, I think I'll break it down into three things. One is if I have to put like a math equation to it, dating is equal to self-discovery plus social connection. And when people operate from a place of clarity and abundant mindset, things become easier. Two, while technology is amazing, at this point in time, I'm assigning like less than 20% weightage to dating apps and matrimony websites as part of the overall dating portfolio. So that means what's the combination looking like? If you were to do your life partner search, then apps plus your friends and family referrals plus where are you a regular, the kind of activities you're signing up for, the kind of alumni networks you're moving around in, a whole lot of that combination eventually leads to where are you showing up and how. And yeah, last but not the least, it's so important to be able to understand it's not about a checklist. It's about how is this person making you feel? What side of you are they bringing out? And I would again put a math equation to it, compatibility over chemistry.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times it just doesn't click in the first go. And there's no vibe and no spark in the first go. But that doesn't mean that the person is not right for you.
Mm. And it could be chemistry and no compatibility. So you're like, what do you choose?
My
And
God, I love that. Yeah,
yeah,
there are people who are giving you a lot of butterflies on the
yeah.
first go. They're doing everything right, smooth talker, using the right dialogues from Shah Rukh Khan movies, and then you wonder what's going on.
I know. Why? Oh, why? It is crazy. I know. चलो हमारा ज़माना और था less to navigate, but I do understand how difficult it is, and uh, in a way, difficult as well as like you're saying, it's about self-expression and self-discovery. So I think maybe this is a journey. In the end about self discovery and finding a person who can be with you in that journey. So and so Radhika, what are the concerns?
And try
Yeah.
to,
Mm.
sorry, but try to, like you rightly said, right?
Mm.
It's about finding a person in that journey, and it's also
Yes.
about finding ourselves in that journey of
Yes.
who are we willing to become
Mhm.
in order to be with that kind of a person.
Yes, yes, there has to be give and take. You can't be okay, this is me and this is you, and you need to come somewhere midway or something. I don't know, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a grocery shopping list.
Exactly. Yeah, you know the right words to say. I'm enjoying that. I know. So next, because we are here. I'm based in the Silicon Valley, and even in India, the urban centers it's expensive. Getting married is getting expensive. Raising a family, education, and everything, and then there are timelines and deadlines to meet. Careers are getting both. The girls and boys are into high tech careers or very demanding careers. So, how do they go about that? And especially here for the US based, kids, I'll say, they even have a pressure of balancing their cultures now because they are born and brought up here, or sometimes, so they have a different way of thinking while the family is thinking differently. So, a little bit about that. How do they go about that?
Right. I love that question. Thank you for asking. So, I understand we are spending a lot more of our 20s in traveling, exploring ourselves, the world at large, and in between feel like there isn't much time for uh, dating. But at the same time, what I want to say is if it is something that you would want to invest your time in your 20s, it only becomes easier. So imagine the best of competitive exams and the best of tier one colleges and the best of stuff that we did happened in our 20s. Or even if we pushed it for a little later, we were at least mindful about preparing for it. So
Hmm.
you you can't be what you can't see. So it's so important to have relationship role models around us
Hmm.
whose happy, healthy, sustainable relationships we look up to and understand how does balance work and understand that finding your person is not going to be a detour, but it's going to be a 1 plus 1 is equal to 11 as a good solid team.
Hmm.
So you may or may not want to uh, devote your energy in your 20s, but if you do, then it's a solid path to be able to commit to somebody uh, you could be with in the long term. Because 20s, we are more malleable, we
Hmm.
are more flexible, we are able to sort of handle each other's quirks
Oh,
and come together
hmm.
and get good. So it only gets easier.
Okay. So, and as you're saying, as the age progressive, like you're in your 30s or late 30s, you start to get into your own zone and you're not that.
Right. And the pool becomes kind of
हाँ,
the pool
छोटा हो
shrinks.
Yeah, shrink.
हाँ, थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, right? So, uh, 20s, everybody around you is like unpartnered or
Yes.
unattached, and like people are moving circles, and you get invited to house parties, and you can plan your impromptu road trips, and there's a lot more open energy because the responsibilities are relatively less. There's
Hmm.
less to lose, more to gain, upside ज़्यादा है, and we tend to be more open. So it only makes sense. I mean, I'm speaking to a lot of people in 30s, not just here in Bangalore, but also in Delhi, Mumbai, SF, New York, and other cities. And something that they constantly tell me is, hey, how do I make friends as an adult? Because I'm in my 30s and people are sort of settled in their friend circles, in their geographies, in their jobs or career paths. So now that level of serendipity doesn't happen anymore.
Hmm.
And while there are ways to still expand your circle and do a whole lot of things, uh, it's not the same as it is in
Yeah, I
20s.
understand. And when we talked earlier, Radhika, you also mentioned about geography is affecting. Obviously your social circle, your environment, but where you are is a huge, reason and, an element as to who you're going to find. So that plays a part, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Our proximity,
Mm.
who is in our proximity affects a whole lot of things. We tend to become the average of the five people that we are surrounded by.
Mm.
And it's similar even when it comes to content diet. If
Mm.
you're constantly consuming certain kind of Instagram reels and YouTube shorts and TikTok videos and OTT, Netflix content, our thoughts shape that way. The same thing applies even to our immediate geography. And in fact, one question that I give to my clients is, where is your future life partner hanging out right now, and how can you be in 2 feet distance of that person?
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that allows people to then think about their values, their lifestyle, their goals, and reverse engineer it to, okay, so I think I'm gonna like this kind of a person, and reverse engineer it to where am I showing up? If the only thing that I'm doing is a DoorDash delivery and some OTT content, then most likely only the delivery partner is showing up at my door. Nothing else is getting delivered.
Okay. See, I'm getting your point. I'm trying to, understand this whole thing, because, like I said, this is new to me. I've not even seen any dating site. Yeah, my kids have gone on it, but मुझे कुछ पता नहीं क्या है उसमें. But the thing is that, see, that's why I'm saying, if we are here and you ask this question to a, boy or a girl here, that, and maybe the girl says, oh, maybe I want somebody who's in Bangalore in India, and they
Mhm.
visualize it, and okay, how can then they start to navigate how they can, so that's a good idea, have something in
Absolutely.
mind. But
Right. And not just the offline part, but also online, right? So, what kind of dating apps or matrimony apps are you showing up on? What kind of subreddits are you showing up on? I know
what is
people
that?
who are so Reddit,
Okay.
the
Okay.
site. I know people who are child free by choice. So they are on a subreddit called
Oh.
CBC India, and they have literally gone out on dates using that subreddit. So basically, your social media presence, the kind of Facebook groups you're on, there's subtle curry dating where people put out profiles of
Mm.
themselves or be a hype man or a hype woman for their friend and put out their profiles, and they've gone on to find matches. So there are a whole lot of avenues out there, as long as you know what you want
Mm.
and you know if it is worth putting in the effort to get there, and
Yes.
then you bridge the gap with whatever it takes. And there are always enablers and there are always helpers out there. So in the journey, if people need to address their uh, past issues, heal better, seek a therapist. Uh, if they're struggling with their body image issues, work with a personal trainer. If they sort of need help with their diet, work with a nutritionist. If they need more assistance with a relationship coach, maybe sign up with a couple of matchmakers. If they need to expand their circle, but do not think they have time to do it on their own because of privacy concerns, because of safety concerns, because of time crunch, whatever it is. So I really want all our listeners to know that there are helpers out there. There are people who will help you move the needle in the direction of where you'd like to be, as long as you reach out and you operate with a growth mindset, with clarity, with enough abundance. So marriage, I just want to say there's no FOMO. शादी नहीं करनी है तो जबरदस्ती जरूरी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's okay. You are a piece of cake. In fact you are the cake, and anyone else can only be the icing. So it's completely okay if you don't want to get married. But if you do, then it's important to make an informed decision. It's important to put in the work.
I know, and in today's culture and today's time, people are, you know, looking into different relationships, or they are going in and out of relationships. Like you're saying, when you're looking in your 20s or early 20s, maybe you're not even interested in, you just want to have a good time and that's about it. And you're not looking into marriages when you're in your early, it's, and that age getting moved on, because now I see only after 30s or mid people are thinking about even here, and if you find somebody well and uh, good for you, you can people are settling, but mostly I'm seeing it's getting pushed the age. So that's a different thing. And then you talked about your social profiling, and many, I don't know how many, but many are not on social media. They are, especially the guys. I think maybe the girls are more into social media and handling this. But I don't know. Yeah, probably guys are, like you're saying, what are the do's and don'ts? Okay, one reel I saw of yours was you saying, please don't put your gymming pictures on. Oh, that was
Oh,
funny.
absolutely.
How
Yeah,
the
no,
guys
that's
do, yeah. Yeah, I know.
well, I have to say this here. So,
Yeah.
there are men who are putting in the effort,
Okay.
and I know of men who have gone to candid photographers, taken their pictures, clicked, or when they last attended a friend's wedding or a traditional day at work, they requested their friends or colleagues to click their pictures so that they are looking well dressed. And so again, when people are intentional, they have put in the effort. And at the same time, I also know of guys who have literally put out those gym rat selfies, and those in US context, just one picture where you're fishing and you have the gold mine struck in your hand. Because that's probably the only time they thought, hey, I should have a picture on my iPhone 15, whatever the new version is.
I know. Only
So I would
16.
say, at any point in time, again, if you're intentional about it, do not hesitate to rope in helpers. Those unpaid free helpers could look like your friends and colleagues, and the paid version could look like professionals.
Exactly. So get help. It's a a lot of work. I'm beginning to think it's not easy. And I think what I loved about what you said is that you need to work on yourself, constantly keep working on yourself. And you talked about therapy. You talked about communicating. You talked about just self-esteem and feeling good. I think until and unless you're coming from a place where you are not a little, you know, you until you don't like yourself. I'm not saying be all, about yourself. We all will have some, uh, stuff about us which we have to still improve and not. But you have to come from a place where No, okay, this is a little bit of me, and this is my flaws. These are my, little strengths. So I think you need to be aware. Only then I think you can.
How Kareena Kapoor would say in Jab We Met, मैं अपनी favorite हूँ.
हाँ हाँ उसने तो सही बोल दिया था.